How many of you have heard of these following concepts before? Dropshipping, e-commerce, SMMA, escaping the rat race, day trading. Please, I want you to raise your hands. Great. So, today, especially us between the ages of 14 till 20, we are constantly being bombarded by influencers promoting a luxury lifestyle, a lifestyle we can only dream of. They promise us, if we do what they say, if we listen to them, if we buy their courses, we will achieve financial freedom. That's great. In some cases, it's even possible. Let me tell you an example. I have a friend of mine. He did what these influencers said. He dropped out, he started his own brand. Well, now he's doing okay. This raises the question, should we all do like him? Should we all drop out and start an online business? Is this the best we can actually do? The myth of dropping out. So, these same influencers, they promote and they say that online education beats traditional education. We should all learn online, we should all learn on YouTube, and we should drop out of school, and most importantly, that school is a scam. This is what they say. I used to believe them at the age of 14, not now. So I started coding at the age of 14. Plus, on the side, I experimented in many business models like Amazon FBA, dropshipping, trading, affiliate marketing, and theme pages. Some of them worked well, some of them didn't. At the age of 15, I landed a job as a web developer. At 17, I started my first company. Now, I could have done what my friend did. I could have dropped out. But instead, I decided to learn from the most successful people in the world. I call it the Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg effect. We all know that these guys are famous dropouts, right? Well, first of all, they dropped out of Harvard, meaning they got into Harvard. Second of all, they didn't randomly decide to drop out. They had something so big, it didn't even make sense to stay. Their business was already doing amazing millions of dollars. Staying at Harvard didn't make sense to them. Unlike my friend who dropped out suddenly because he wanted to listen to some influencers he saw online. So, to me, at least, when we all go into college, university, not school, specifically university. Listen, I hated school. I didn't enjoy studying. But I realized that what Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates did is that they combined what they learned in their major with their business skills to build something so big no one could have ever ignored, which is Microsoft and Facebook. Or Meta by now. So most of you go into college, you do your exams, you barely know what you're studying, you can't even know how to apply it, you don't know why you're learning it, you don't know what you're going to do with it. That's a major mistake I want you all to fix. When you go into college, know exactly what you're taking, why you're taking, how you apply it. Don't just go there and do tests. I repeat, university in specific. So to me, both of these concepts go hand in hand. When you combine both, when you combine what you learn, a specific skill set that you learn, with good entrepreneurship skills, you will succeed no matter what. At least, this is what all successful, all billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they all did that. Now, I have 3 formulas I abide by. The first one is if you have good business skills like my friend. So each of them is correct, none of them is bad in any way. So he had good business skills. He hated school, like I did, but he dropped out. He didn't want to go to college. He doesn't have one skill set he can rely on. He has business skills, that's true. And he has a brand, and he's doing okay. But he has no skill, no specialty he can rely on no matter what, and he can use to elevate his business. You can be like that. That's no problem. 2, it's if you hate business, if you hate leading around and you want to take orders from people, you want to go to college and excel. And this can actually make you a millionaire, which is some of your goals. Look at, there are Microsoft employees who are millionaires. And he's an employee, he's working 9 to 5. It doesn't mean it's bad. Because nowadays, all the trends online we see, they hate and they spread negative things about working a job. But that's completely normal. You can make a bunch of money working at a very good company. 3rd, and most importantly, if you have both, if you combine both, just like Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and everyone I've mentioned, if you have great academic skills, you go into a very big university, and keep in mind, let's take Anghami. Anghami, the founder of Anghami, didn't suddenly drop out. He started it in school. One problem we all do is that we wait for the perfect conditions to start. But in reality, starting is the perfect condition. If Zuckerberg and Gates decided that they want to finish school, I'll start when I start working, I'll build that business when I'm done with university, Microsoft and Facebook wouldn't exist. We all tend to wait till we finish education, till we finish whatever we have to start. Don't. As I said, people wait for the perfect conditions to start, while in reality, starting is the perfect condition. So just start. You're in school, you're in university. Let's get back to the example of Anghami. There are many accelerators, many incubators that help you build a great startup in universities. Don't think going to these places will decrease your chances of having a good business. It doesn't make sense. So if you have the last formula, to me, you're unstoppable. Whatever you do, you'll succeed. Either you'll have a good career, maybe you might end up at, I don't know, Google, or you might be as my friend who dropped out, or you combine both and become extraordinary. Now, I have organized some of my best tips from the age of 14 till today. If I were you, I would listen very carefully. Okay, now we're getting serious. So, don't take anecdotes as facts. This is Kevin, right? Now, Kevin is a successful dropout. This raises the question, well, here's Kevin, he dropped out, he's successful. Should I drop out? Should I do like Kevin? A follow-up example. Here's Bob. Well, Bob doesn't smoke. Unfortunately, Bob got cancer. Yeah. He doesn't smoke, he has cancer. Now, that's our friend John. John does smoke, but guess what? John got no cancer. The one who smokes doesn't have cancer, and the one who doesn't smoke has cancer. Does this prove that smoking is bad? It doesn't. But how? The one who smokes doesn't have cancer. So, apply this same logic in my first example. We tend to cherry-pick the entrepreneurs that did drop out and are successful to use them as excuses for our bad grades. We cherry-pick the ones who did drop out and are successful to take them as our idols to get bad grades. I used to do that. It's fine. I wasn't good at school. Now, 2, the power of comparison and who you listen to. To me, to truly grow, you change what you do by changing who you compare yourself to. So, let's say you want to open a business. Or let me give you my personal example. At 16, I used to work as a software developer. At 16. I could have said that, oh, there are 23 unemployed, 23 people who graduated college and are unemployed. I could have looked at them and say, oh, hey, I'm 16, I'm working, I'm better than them. Instead, what I did is that I compared myself to 15, 16 years old on Forbes who used to sell software companies for millions. These are the people who I looked at. Another example, when you're racing, you always look in front of you, who's ahead of you. You never look behind you and race, right? It's illogical to race that way. So this is why, whatever you do, I don't care about the competition, I don't care about where you are, always compare yourself to the best. This is how you grow. Now, Hormozy once said, you need to let other people's dream of you die to let yours to live. Meaning, example, I dream that my brother becomes a lawyer. It's my dream of my brother. But my brother himself, he dreams of maybe becoming a doctor. My mom dreams of me becoming an engineer. But my dream of myself is not to be an engineer, example. I need to let her dream of me die in order for mine to live. Now, it concludes who you listen to. When anyone tells you any advice, pause for a second, look at the person. Is he qualified to tell me what he's saying? Is he big enough, smart enough, educated enough to tell me or to give me any sort of advice? If yes, then listen to it. If no, don't. Because there are thousands, even millions of, no, not millions, thousands of people online who go there and give advice and they know nothing about what they're giving. So pay attention to who you're listening to. Now, I'm going to redefine how to learn. To me, at least, learning is same condition, new behavior. Same condition, new behavior. Now, intelligence means how fast you change what you do in the same situation or the rate of learning. How quick you change the behavior for the same condition. Let me give you an example. That's Bob. The condition is that Bob has a test, right? Bob is cramming. First time, second time, third time. Bob is cramming for his test. Same condition, same behavior. Bob is still cramming. Now, back to Kevin. Kevin has a test. Kevin crammed once. He realized for the same condition, which is having a test, he should change. The second test, he stopped cramming. So how quick you adapt and change to one condition, to me at least, says how intelligent you are. Now, one of my main goals in life is to join Google. I applied last year, I'm applying this year, and I'm gonna keep on applying until I get in. I know someone who referred to me a Stanford alumni. And that Stanford alumni was a chief of staff where? At Google. He wanted me to build a very simple website that I was more than capable of doing. That was amazing. This one person could have changed the entire trajectory of my life. That Stanford alumni. But guess what? I did one thing I shouldn't have done, and I lost him, unfortunately. So, who here does to-do lists? Raise your hands. Okay. Did you ever think of an avoid list? Do we ever think of what I should avoid instead of what I should do first? Because what you should not do has more weight than what you should do. I built him an amazing website, but I did one thing I shouldn't have done. I lost him. So, always, whatever you want to do, it applies to anything, to business, to relationships, to your family, school, whatever. When you want to do anything, have a list, a non-negotiable list of what you should avoid, what you should never do at all costs. Then focus on what you should do. Now, last but not least, how to deal with hate and criticism. There are two types of hate and criticism. The first type, if someone is better than you, who's saying anything, and if someone who isn't and hating. Let's get back to that Stanford alumni. He said some things to the person that I know, the one who referred me to him. I could have said, oh, he's hating, oh, I don't want to listen to him. But instead, this person is more intelligent than I am, probably more healthy. In all aspects of life, he's better. I took everything he said to my heart. And guess what? 4 days later, I signed my biggest client till today. So, if someone's better, if someone's more advanced, if someone's more educated, listen to what they say. I don't care if it's bad, it's good, whatever he says, he knows more than you. Now the second part. Some people talk about you to cope with the fact that they are so miserable in their life. They talk about you to cope that they're never going to achieve anything. You know what we call them? Bottom feeders. You're doing better than them in all aspects of life. They are not even qualified to say what you're doing because they don't even have the courage to try what you're doing. So these people, obviously, don't listen to them. Everyone you're performing better, not in all aspects, in one aspect, and he says something negative about you, don't listen to him because, as I said, these people talk badly about you to cope with the fact that they're so miserable, they're never going to achieve anything in life. To sum up, first of all, focus on what you should not do first, then on what you should do. Second, university and school aren't against each other. I'm seeing people, and it hits me in the chest when I see it, they drop out. But these two go hand in hand. Combine both. Don't listen to influencers, most probably who are fake. Combine both. And third, learn how to learn. As I said, the example, change. Become quick on how you change for the same condition. If I raise my hand and I punch you, that's painful. Again, I raise my hand and I punch you. That's even more painful. Again, I raise my hand and I punch you. You duck. You duck the third time. I want you to duck the second time than the first time. Become quick in how you change for the same conditions. And lastly, know how to deal with criticism and hate. Thank you, everyone.